to another episode of the Bring the Thunder podcast. Today, we're going to be doing an Eastern Conference seeding and playoffs prediction, very similar to our episode we did a little bit ago about the Western standings. But we're here with myself, Gabe. We got Satvir, Landon, and Jack. So we will be giving you guys a little taste of our thoughts on the Eastern Conference. So to start off, I think the 10 seed will be the Chicago Bulls. Satvir, what do you think?
I'm in agreement with that. I got the Chicago Bulls there.
Gotcha.
I also have the Bulls.
That makes 4 of us. I got the Bulls at 10 seed as well.
There we go. All right. Moving on to the 9. I have the Miami Heat.
Interesting. I'm going to stick with the Hawks here.
I have the Magic due to injuries.
I have the Magic as well, yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right. At the 8, I have the Atlanta Hawks right here.
Okay. I have I'll take the Magic here.
Gotcha.
I also have the Hawks, Gabe.
And me too, Hawks.
There we go. 3 Hawks there. All right. Coming at the 7 seed, I have the Orlando Magic.
I'll take the Miami Heat for the 7th seed.
Likewise, I have the Heat.
7th seed, give me the Heat.
There you go. Coming in at 6 for me, I have the Indiana Pacers.
I got the Pistons. I think they'll stick around.
Along with Gabe, I have the Pacers.
I also have the Pacers.
A lot of agreements here for most parts.
A lot.
At the 5 here, I have the Pistons. Jump in the Pacers.
I'm going to stay with the Pacers at the 5. I don't think they're going to be able to jump them.
Fair enough.
Yep. Getting repetitive here. I also have the Pistons jumping the Pacers.
Sounding like a broken record, I have the Pistons at 5.
That's awesome. All right. These will also all sound like a broken record here. I'm assuming at 4, I have the Bucks.
Yeah, I have the Bucks as well. I'm assuming 1 through 4 is similar for everyone.
I'm also thinking.
I have the Bucks.
Yep.
I have the Bucks.
Does anybody have a surprise thrown in here that we should know about, or do we just?
Do we all agree it's Knicks 3, Celtics 2, and Cavs 1?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
We don't
let's
need
roll.
to go through that one individually for sure. I think that's kind of just how the East is, very top heavy for sure. Do you want to kind of discuss any thoughts we had on the seeding at all individually? I know we kind of had some differences there. One of the things I just want to say was I had the Heat pretty low. I had them down to the 9 seed. I just am not a Miami believer. I think the moves that they'd made, I mean, it was good for them to get rid of Jimmy, but I just don't. A team that has to rely on just Bam and Harrow and Wiggins, like none of those guys are a primary number 1 option. So I just do not feel good about the Heat. Meanwhile, I think the Hawks at least have Trae Young, so I can see them jumping there. But either way, it doesn't matter where they are. They're not winning a series, in my opinion.
I want to jump in and talk about the Hawks. I feel like everything I've seen from the Hawks every single time I watch them, and for some reason I keep tuning into their dang games, they just always prove me wrong in terms of their play style. Like, they just can't defend. Trae isn't what everyone kind of hypes him up to be, and he's not carrying them to where they need to be. Like, they've had every opportunity with an injured Magic team, no Jimmy Butler Heat team. Like, he's had opportunities to move up. He just hasn't taken them. So I'm not going to become a believer.
I think that DeAndre Hunter trade actually hurt them more than it helped them.
Oh, for sure.
Big time hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the Pacers dropping below the Pistons, I think that's a bit of a hot take. I don't know if it will end up happening. I do think the Pacers are a very well-rounded team. Pistons they're just been feeling it, man. Cunningham's been absolutely cooking. So I kind of think that might have been more of like I would like to see the Pistons pass the Pacers because I think it would be a good story. But I don't know if it'll really happen. I guess we'll see.
I feel like it was a little bit more recency bias on everyone's part, but I don't think like underrating the Pacers, what their roster is. It's a little bit healthier as well, in my opinion, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I stuck with them.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay,
I think someone.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say someone mentioned the Hawks higher than 9. I want to ask.
I
about
had him.
that.
I had him at 8. I just switched them.
Me too.
I also had them 8.
Yeah. I think the Magic will fall. They're shooting so bad from 3, like 30% or something.
It's also one of those things where those bottom like 3 teams, I don't think it matters where their position is. They're all equally just not good. Like I just don't think any of them are gonna make a difference. Like the Bulls are pretty much damned to be here. I mean, it just happens every season. They end up here, and same with the Hawks. The Heat, I just think they're just such a mess right now that at least the Hawks have some sort of like, I don't think chemistry is the right word, but I know Trey might not be what you were talking about, Xavier, with him being what he's made out to be, but I still think he's better than any of the players on the Heat. I mean, I still would want him leading my team more than I want Tyler Harrow bringing the ball up and leading it for him when he's just this pure shooter. So either way, it as we'll get into it with the playoff predictions, it does not make a difference.
I like the Hawks. I don't think Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner's injuries are injuries that you shouldn't take serious. I think those are 2 impactful players for them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's get into these play-in predictions because that'll tell you guys a lot about what I'm thinking.
For sure. I'll go ahead and start mine off. I'll just go through my 3 real quick. Obviously, first I have the 7 seed Magic playing the 8 seed Hawks, where I have the Magic winning that one. Then I have the Heat versus the Bulls, where I have the Bulls winning that. And then I have the Hawks versus the Bulls for the 8 seed, where I have the Hawks beating the Bulls, which I feel like it's always the Hawks and the Bulls in the play-in. I feel like that's just so repetitive. But, yeah, I just think the Bulls, I mean, I like their team and I like what they're doing, but them not trading Vooch turned me away from them so unbelievably hard this season, where I was just like, I'm so done with this team. Like, I don't care if I think that they might have a better all-around roster than the Hawks. They're not. I'm so out on the Bulls. It's ridiculous. So that's kind of why I had the Hawks pulling that one off to get the 8 seed.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to go through mine real quick. So the first game would be the Heat versus the Magic, and I have the Heat winning that one. And then for game 2, it'd be the Hawks versus the Bulls, and I actually have the Hawks pulling this one out because I don't see anyone on the Bulls that can really, face up against Trae Young. But for the elimination games for Magic versus Hawks, I actually have Paulo kind of doing it all by himself against Trae Young. And that's where my hate of Trae Young kind of comes in for the explanation. I just don't think he's good enough to beat an injured Magic team.
I think that's fair. I mean, obviously, I agree with you since my first play-in was the Magic versus the Hawks, and I had the Magic winning because, I mean, in that scenario, Paulo is a much better player than what Trae Young provides in all around aspects of the game. So I definitely see what you're saying.
All right. 7 and 8, I have the Heat playing the Hawks with the Heat winning. Outside of Dyson Daniels, I don't really see the Hawks having any defenders that can stop all 3 of the Heat's players. And when I say 3 players, I'm talking about Bam, Hero, and Wiggins. And then I have the Magic playing the Bulls in the 9-10 game with the Bulls winning there, which leads us to the repetitive play-in matchup with the Bulls and Hawks. I have the Hawks winning. That game would be in Atlanta. I just see a dominant game from Trae Young there.
Yeah, fair enough. Jack,
7 seed, 8 seed. I got Heat Hawks. I'm taking the Hawks for that one. I think, Landon, you just said only Dyson's there to defend. He's only there to defend who? Like, Bam's shooting like 15% on layups this year. Wiggins is not that good. Tyler Hero's good, but he's not a leader. I just don't see it happening. I think Hawks won good game. They've won that. Then you got Magic versus Bulls.
Bam would take Okongwu's lunch money.
Okongwu is good at basketball, man. Okongwu is good at basketball.
Bam's an all-star,
9-10. Yeah, whatever. He's not. 9-10. I got Magic Bulls. No doubt about it. Magic win that. Bulls are not good at basketball. Then I got Heat Magic, which is a cool Florida rivalry. And then I have the Magic advancing from that. I think it takes one big Paolo game and they're through. And then they've used all their firepower and they get swept in the first round. But I think
So I think all of us had the Heat kind of making it through, except for Jack, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Heat in the postseason. I just don't think they'll have. I mean, this is their first
Trust
postseason without
Eric
Jimmy.
Spoelstra. Trust
Yeah,
Eric
that's what I was
Spoelstra.
going to say. Eric Spoelstra, plus this is a top 3 team in terms of they haven't really broken their roster apart outside this year, getting rid of Jimmy Butler. So, like, that fact that they still have most of their core guys there.
Yeah,
And they
but
haven't.
if you think about their postseason success, it surrounds Jimmy.
Yeah, but it still matters that they still have the rest of the guys. So, in terms of game plan familiarity, like, it's going to
They're
matter.
used to playing without him. He hasn't really been playing all season. So
Yeah, but I'm talking the previous play-ins and postseasons, which they wouldn't have even made it to there without Jimmy. So
Definitely
anyway, that's just
interesting
my
to
take.
see. It'll be interesting to see how they turn out for sure. Okay, well, with that, let's get into the actual playoff predictions. I'll go ahead and go through mine here quick. I got the 1 seed Cavs versus the 8 seed Hawks. I have Cavs in 4. I don't like giving out sweeps. Sweeps are tough. This would be a sweep. and that goes for same if the Bulls pulled off the upset and they ended up making it in. It's a sweep. Coming in the next game, I got the 2 seed Celtics versus the 7 seed Magic. I would actually be kind of excited to see how the series goes. I do think injuries would be kind of the story. I think Celtics do win in 6. I think Magic would maybe give them a couple runs for their money. Paul puts together 2 good games. But at the end of the day, there's no way they're getting farther than that. Next, I have the 3 seed Knicks versus the 6 seed Pacers. Another series I like, and I actually have the Knicks in 7. I think Pacers would really push this game far. I think it would be a really fun series. But I do think New York just has that edge with an all-around better starting 5. But I do think this would be a really good series. I think the Pacers would surprise a lot of people. I think it would come down to how consistent can Halliburton be, and that's where I think they end up losing. I just don't think Hallie is consistent enough to be better or at least equal to what Brunson's going to be providing as guard play for the Knicks. So then we have the 4 seed Bucks versus the 5 seed Pistons. I think this is a bad roll for the Pistons. Unlucky in my scenario because I don't think they want to play the Bucks. I have the Bucks in 5 here. I think the Bucks handle this pretty quickly. Moving on to the next round, we got the 1 seed Cavs versus the 4 seed Bucks. I got Cavs in 7. I think this would be arguably the most fun series in the entire East. I would love to watch the Cavs and the Bucks. I think Giannis trying to deal with Mobley and Allen would be really entertaining to watch. I do think he would find a way, obviously, but I think this is a series where Dame steps up. I think Dame would really prove his worth here. He hasn't totally done that yet outside of just playing good, but I think he steps up here, and I'd like to see that for them. Then I have the 2 seed Celtics versus the 3 seed Knicks. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I got Celtics in 5. I think they would hand them a game. Honestly, I could see in 4, but I'm not calling a sweep that quick. I just think every time we've seen the Celtics and the Knicks, it's been pretty clear who's the better team. I think Boston's just all around more well built. And I think that this is not like a crazy thing to say, but the death of the Knicks is obviously going to be Tom running his players into the dirt. They're going to play too many minutes. They're going to get too tired. Boston has the depth. Boston has the experience to outlast these guys, and it'll be noticeable to me. Then in the finals, we have the 1 seed Cavs and the 2 seed Celtics. What a shocker. I think this is what everybody's mostly going to think. And I have the Celtics in 6. I think the Celtics take care of business here and take down Cleveland. And I have Tatum winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I just threw that in there.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, I'll go through mine real quick. So for the first round, Cavaliers Magic, I got the Cavs in 5. Just too much defense and offense overall. Celtics versus Heat, I got the Celtics in 6. They just don't have Jimmy Butler in this one, and should be pretty easy. But Eric Spoelstra will make it tough as they always do. Knicks versus the Pistons, I got the Knicks in 6. Detroit's got a feisty young squad, but they could take maybe 2 games. Bucks versus Pacers, Bucks in 6. So no games that are going to go to like a sweep or 7 games. I think everything's going to be between 5 or 6. And then for the semifinals, I got Cavs versus Bucks. I got the Cavaliers in 7 games. The home game is going to make the big difference here. I don't know. I don't trust the rest of the roster that the Bucks have compared to the Cavs. And in a grinded out series, you got to take the team with the deeper squad. Celtics versus Knicks. I got the Celtics in 6. I still think that the Knicks have enough offense that they can win 2 games, but they don't have enough defense to win the series. For the conference finals, Cavaliers, Celtics, and I have the Celtics winning in 7, mainly because the previous series, Cavs just won in 7 games, so they're going to be pretty tired, and Celtics will probably be going through their series pretty comfortably. So, yeah.
Fair
And I'll
enough.
agree. I'll take Tatum for that West or Eastern Conference Finals MVP or whatever.
Sweet.
Okay. 1-8 series. I have the Celtics playing the Hawks with the Cavs winning in 5. I see one big game from Trae Young in Atlanta to hang one game on them, and the Celtics winning, or the Cavaliers winning a gentleman's sweep there. The 4 and 5 matchup, I have the Bucks and the Pistons with the Bucks sweeping them. I think the Bucks experience with Damian Lillard and Giannis. I don't think that young Pistons team has an answer for those two. Give me the Bucks to sweep them. 2 and 7, I have the Celtics playing the Heat with the Celtics sweeping them. I don't see that Heat team hanging with them. I think the Celtics are just a much deeper team. 3 and 6, I have the Knicks, and I also have the Pacers. I don't think the Pacers are a team that should be underlooked. I think they're talented, but I think the Knicks are a better team, and I have the Knicks to win in 6. Playing in Madison Square Garden is never easy. So moving on to the Eastern Conference semifinals, we have the Cavs and the Bucks. Here's where things get shaky for me. I've got the Bucks. I don't think there's 2 players on the Cavaliers that are better than Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't. Star power wins. Giannis has won the finals before. They won the in-season tournament. Give me the Bucks in 6. Celtics and Knicks. I have the Celtics at 2, Knicks at 3, with the Celtics winning in 5, just straight up the better team. And in the Western or the Eastern Conference Finals, I have the 1 Celtics playing the number 4 Bucks, with the Celtics winning in 6 and going to the finals for the second year in a row.
There you
Interesting.
go. Yeah, interesting
You
for
guys-
sure.
Oh, you guys aren't gonna like me, but okay. Here we go. 1 seed Cavs versus 8 seed Magic. 4-0. Simple. Sweep. Get the Browns out. 4 seed Bucks. 5 seed Pistons. I have Pistons in 7. You have Dame and Giannis. And who else?
Kyle Kuzma, baby, don't sleep on him. That was a good pickup.
Exactly. Kyle Kuzma. That's exactly my point.
Good.
So
He's hated on, but he's a good player.
Got
Brook
Brook
Lopez
Giannis will
is
carry
there.
them. Giannis will carry them to 7 games, but Dame, I'll see. Well, my prediction is he'll be absent. Pistons will be energized, ready to fight, and they're just on a roll. So they got the momentum really. So I got them in 7. Then I got 3 seed Knicks, 6 seed Pacers. I got Knicks in 6. I think Pacers are scary to the Knicks, but the Knicks got it this year. Yeah.
That
Knicks,
series could definitely go to 6 or 7. I could see it going either way.
But Knicks will be suited for the. I know some of you were saying that you need depth, but I think the fact that they played a playoff rotation the whole year will help them as long as everyone's healthy. So if
And
everyone's
Robinson
healthy,
back.
yeah, that's very true. And then 2 seed Celtics, 7 seed Hawks. I got another sweep. I just don't see the Hawks or Magic getting a game on the Cavs or Celtics. Yeah. Okay, second round. We got Cavs versus Pistons. The Cavs are winning in 5. Pistons, I got over the Bucks, but they're not beating the Cavs. Then I have the Knicks versus Celtics. I got Celtics in 5 as well. Knicks aren't good enough to beat the Celtics. Simple. Then Cavs versus Celtics in the finals, or semi, whatever you want to call it. I have the Cavs advancing in 6 games.
Interesting. Definitely the most different than anybody else's for sure with that Pistons upset there.
You
The
need
only
any
team-
explanations? Hit me.
Yeah, the only team that I think out of the teams that are not below the 4 seed, the only team that I can see doing an upset is the Pacers, they're the most capable roster. If the Pistons were a little bit healthier, I think if Ivy was on the squad, I could definitely take them for an upset. But without Ivy, they just don't have that secondary punch outside of Cade. Cade's going to see a lot of two-man actions, a lot of zones. He's going to get box and one, and I don't think he knows how to respond to something like that, especially from his lack of outside shooting. So,
yeah. Well, that's the other thing. You're talking about this younger Pistons team that just last year was one of the worst teams in NBA history compared to a Bucks team that just won the finals a few years ago. Like, I know that team's different from now, but you still have Giannis at the helm of that, who's got the experience. I just don't see a world where any of the Pistons players can respond to any sort of adversity in terms of the way that Giannis is going to be able to. I mean, I think Giannis almost single-handedly can at least keep the series close. Dame just has to be essentially competent in order for them to pull this one off.
And Dame's had a really more than competent season. All his stats are up from his last season that he had with Portland. So outside of last season where he had his outside of the court troubles, like he's kind of back to himself and even playing better than that. So yeah, there's no way he doesn't show up in the playoffs.
No. I just can't see the Cavaliers going that far. I think they're a copy and paste of the 2014-15 Atlanta Hawks, that team that had Horford, Teague, and Millsap. Just low level all-stars. They don't have the star power to go that far.
I don't know if they call them low-level all-stars, but
yeah, I wouldn't say they're the.
I think they're a really good team, but I just think Boston.
There's a reason they're the best, and they've already clinched a playoff spot.
I just think Boston coming off of winning it all is just.
The Hawks were also 60-22, so.
I mean, I think the Cavs are an incredible team. I just think dealing with Boston coming off a win, they're the top of the totem pole. I just don't think they're going to be able to take them down. But by no means do I think the Cavs can't do it. I think the Cavs are a very good team. It just takes a little bit of momentum, and that series could get flipped on its head. And I do think Boston could potentially lose that one, but I think they're going to win. But we'll see for sure.
The Cavs have. I was going to say the Cavs have Donovan Mitchell, so anything's kind of possible from them. He's like a top 3 points per game playoff performer, or at least top 5 in his career, which is like really rare. So, he's always going to perform really well.
Yep. All right. Well, now we're going to do the consensus predictions here, which is basically just looking exactly at what the current East standings are, and we're going to try our best to agree and have a consensus. So I'll go ahead and just run down the current standings for us, and then we'll start with the plan. So obviously the 1 seed are the Cavs, the 2 seed is Boston, the 3 seed is the Knicks, 4 seed is the Bucks, the 5 seed are the Pacers, 6 seed the Pistons, 7 the Heat, 8 the Magic, 9 the Hawks, and 10 the Bulls. So let's start with our first plan. We will do the Heat 7 seed versus the 8 seed Magic. What are we thinking here? We can give in our thoughts here, and oh man,
we can do a vote. We can do a vote.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
we can argue about it if we need to. I got my prediction. If you guys are good.
Yeah. What do you have, Gabe?
I got Magic as well.
Am I the only one that believes in having chemistry? Like,
Landon, are you saying Heat or Magic?
I'm going Heat.
So we're split. 2-2. Well, we're not going to be able to really talk anyone out of it. So if we want, we can flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin.
Yeah, I'll ask Siri. I'll just search flip a coin. All right. Who won? Who will do Heat heads? Magic tails.
What about Paolo Banchero though?
We're just not going to be able to talk anybody out of it. And
One good game from him.
There's nothing. The coin flip is heads, which means Miami Heat will be the winners.
As they should.
All right. Next, we have the 10 seed Bulls versus the 9 seed Hawks. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think the Bulls win this. Or Hawks, sorry, my apologies. I think the Hawks win this one.
I'm taking the Hawks.
I don't see anyone on the Bulls stopping Trae Young. Give me the Hawks.
Hawks beat the Bulls, every day of the week.
All right, we will agree with that then. All right, then we have our playoffs. So let's start. Oh, no, we don't. My apologies. We have one more game. Good grief. We have the
Magic.
The Magic and the Hawks. So Magic Hawks. What do you guys think?
We're talking one game here. It's hard.
There's only one game.
I'm taking Paulo
one.
one game.
I'm also going Magic. I'm taking Paulo one game.
Yeah. Although that Paolo one game would beat the Heat, by the way. But
No, I think he can beat like the lowly Hawks in their defense. That he actually played defense.
I'm trying to think who the Magic put on Trae Young if Suggs isn't playing.
I mean, I definitely value your choice here, but either way, it is already 3 for the Magic.
Okay.
yeah.
Ride with
I mean,
I'll ride with the. I'll go with the Magic. We can ride with it.
I don't want to not let you say something, but either way, it's
Yeah.
cool.
It's just
So
a thought.
the 8 seed will be the Magic, and the 7 seed will be the Heat. All right.
Mhm.
First round, we have the 1 seed Cavs versus the 8 seed Magic. I think we all can agree that the Cavs win this one. Do we need to agree in games? I mean,
It'll be pretty hard to come to an agreement on that. So.
exactly. I think we can all just agree it wouldn't be too difficult.
It'll be
Like
either
games.
in 4 or 5 games, essentially.
I agree. Cool. All right. Next, we have the 2 seed Celtics versus the 7 seed Heat. I think once again we're
Taking the
looking-
Heat, baby. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. The hot take. No,
So
I think we all agree.
Celtics and
Tatum meltdown. Let's go.
Yeah, no. I would say Celtics, and I'd say give them 5 or 6, probably 5.
6 Celtics and 6.
All right.
Just depends on what Wiggins brings to the table in Miami.
True. All right. Next, we have the 3 seed Knicks versus the 6 seed Pistons. What are we thinking here? Other than I'm going Knicks, of course, in my opinion. I'm more so interested to see what Jack says here, since he had the Pistons upsetting the
I-
Bucks.
I'm taking the Knicks.
I can see the argument for an upset, but first round, Knicks fresh, they got it.
Yeah, I think that young Pistons team will be rattled in Madison Square Garden.
That's a good point for sure. All right, then we have the 4 seed Bucks versus the 5 seed Pacers. What are we thinking here, guys?
Know who I'm riding with?
I don't know. I think I might have to go Pacers actually.
I'm going Bucks.
Between Siakam and Turner, I think that's enough not to stop shut down Giannis, but slow him down enough. And then you got Halliburton and Dame, I reckon, equal out. And then you just
No,
look at
they
the supporting
don't.
cast.
No, they don't.
There's no
Yeah,
way.
that's true. That's
Damon-
true. Halliburton is way better than Damian Lillard. Get out of here.
No, he's not.
Oh man,
That's the wildest thing ever, bro.
maybe it
You got to look at
passes.
the depth and the supporting
Delusional.
cast of the main.
There's a
of the
reason
main players.
Halliburton didn't touch the court on Team USA.
I think that was more of a weird coaching thing because he had just come off a good season. I actually think that's
Anyway.
kind of responsible for his bad play this year. I think he's in his head real bad. But regardless,
Well, I got the
There's
Pacers.
this-
I think
I'm going Bucks. I just don't think I
I
do
would
like.
say-
the Pacers
I'll
team.
say like Pacers are the most likely team to have an upset, and
Yeah.
this could go easily like 7 games, final shot or something, and I'll still take Damian Lillard to hit the shots when it counts.
I just while I like
Who-
Miles Turner in terms of defense, I just don't think he's.
I mean, even if
to
you
be honest,
want to make that argument that Halliburton's better, who on the Pacers is guarding Damian Lillard?
yeah, that's their guards are not going to be.
But I'm saying
I mean,
their offense will offset or balance out.
There's
So then you got to
gonna be
look at the
better
depth and the supporting cast. And I think that the Pacers have much better depth and a much better supporting cast. When you
Well,
have
I'll
Kyle Kuzma-
I'll agree with Jack on the fact that like it's entirely possible because I think it could
I
go
agree.
easily 6 or 7 games. How likely is it? We could do a coin toss for fun. Why not?
fun. All right. Well, we will say the Bucks are heads, and
Nah, bro, ride with the player who's led a team to the finals and won it before.
Bucks are
Mike.
heads.
4 years
Pacers
ago,
are
come on now.
Coin
The
is
Bucks have
up.
been underperforming since.
It is heads. The Bucks are winning.
Okay.
0-2 in coin
All right.
flips. That's
Sorry,
crazy.
Jack. I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
Tails,
Savage.
Tails does in fact fail for anybody who says that Tails never fails. All right. So that sets our next round. We have the 1 seed Cavaliers will be playing the 4 seed Bucks. What do we think's going on with this one? I think
Cavs.
Yeah, I think Cavs pull this one off as well. But I think it'd be a good series. I talked about this earlier. I think it'd be a fun series.
Yeah, the exact same reasoning. The supporting cast and depth. Cavs definitely have it over the.
I just think the Cavs are just. I'll give you that same reasoning, but I think it's because the Cavs just have that much better of players than the Pacers do in terms of what we're talking about here. I mean, the two bigs are going to make it difficult on Giannis, more difficult than I think the Pacers bigs will. And then Donovan Mitchell. I mean, now compare Donovan Mitchell to Damian Lillard, that's a conversation.
No one's guarding Donovan Mitchell on that Bucks team.
Yeah,
and I'm not moved by a team with Kyle Kuzma as a third option. So
I think you're underestimating Kyle Kuzma's skill.
I think the Cavaliers
I think you're underestimating Andre Jackson Jr.
The athletic ability.
Come on now.
Hey, don't forget about what's his name, Bobby Portis.
Yeah, Bobby Portis was a great player off the bench for sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Who's winning that series?
I agree.
Bucks.
I think Cavs are just
Bucks, but I'm gonna get outnumbered here, so I'm not even.
We can do another coin toss.
No.
Even Landon knows.
Yeah, let's just rock with Cavs. All right. Then next we have the 2 seed Celtics and the 3 seed Knicks. Big matchup we've been talking about.
I think we all said Celtics in 5. Am I mistaken or?
I said Celtics in 6.
6.
Yeah, because Knicks have enough offense as long as they're not coming in bruised and battered by this time. Like I predict they're probably going to be at least a man down, but they still have enough offense between the 5 stars.
I said Celts in 5 with the Knicks hanging one on them in MSG.
Yeah, so I think we all agreed Celtics in 5 or 6.
Yeah, for sure. Then we have, of course, the Cavs and the Celtics. What are we thinking?
Very predictable matchup, but
it's just how the East is.
I'll ride with the team that's won the finals.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I just think Celtics. The amount of just experience you have goes such a long way, and Cleveland wasn't even supposed to be as good as they are. So I think eventually that night is going to run out.
Pritchard and Derek White's game last night showed me everything I need to know.
Yeah, but you can't call this experience and then be a Thunder fan and expect us to go to the final. Like, what you got?
Except
I was just about to call out. I was just about to call out Gabe about that comment. Like, I don't think in this type of series, when you have the level of talent that the Cavaliers have, the experience will matter because of just how much depth. Like their 1 through 8 man roster is like as good as it can get in terms of team chemistry, how they kind of gel with each other. So I don't think it matters that they don't have the experience. I think this will be honestly like a 50-50 series. Like this could be a coin toss of a series where easily I could see the Cavaliers pull it out if they get any type of swings during games, if they go on any type of runs. The one guy that needs to step up is Donovan Mitchell in this series. Like he's got to go nuclear for them to win. Like that's what I predict.
And he won't step up the whole playoffs.
That's okay.
For what I'm saying,
he's literally top 5 in points per game in the playoffs. Like, what kind of take is that? Come on, bro. That's literally ridiculous.
I think what I'm saying in terms of experience is normally I would agree with you, Xavier, but I think when it's just this fresh off they just won a ring, I just think that's so you ride into that, and they've clearly rode that into the season. I mean, they've been a great team this season. They've proven how good they are. Now, I'm not saying that just means it's going to be a cakewalk and they're just going to kill the Cavs. Like, it's going to be a good series, but when you're saying that Donovan Mitchell has to go nuclear to win it, he's done
that. He's done that.
Right. No, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not agreeing with what Landon said. But
yeah, that's a fucking ridiculous take. Bro.
I'm just saying, like,
Donovan Mitchell can't lead a team to the finals. Giannis can.
Dude, if you think Donovan Mitchell can't lead a team,
Giannis can, Tatum can, Mitchell can't. Mitchell's not in the same league as Tatum and Giannis.
But think of his supporting cast. He's got Mobley. He's got Darius Garland, Ty Jerome, Max Strus. He's got these guys.
And Tatum has Jalen Brown, and Giannis has Dame.
That's why
exactly. You listed one player for each.
That's why it'll be a good series. But to argue that Donovan Mitchell can't lead a team is just flat out insane. I mean, the guy is an incredible
He scored
player.
70. The guy scored 70.
He's
He can-
proven more than
he-
enough that he's a
hold
great
on.
player. We should know how good Donovan Mitchell is. Like Donovan Mitchell is an absolute the dude can take over a game by himself. He's a great player, and like Sabir was pointing out, the dude's top 5 in playoff points. I mean, like you just cannot say that that's just not going to translate this time around. I mean,
The years at Utah, like in the playoffs, he was going absolutely like insane for that 2-year stretch.
Yeah.
We had like 36 points per game and then 32. He only dropped off right before I believe he left, where he went to 25. Right now, in the 2022-2023 season, he was at 23 points per game. But last season, he was literally like 30 points per game, bro.
yeah,
Like,
he was coaching.
come on.
And
He's gonna do way better than 30 points per game this time around. I'm assuming he's gonna get like 32, 33 points per game at least.
Absolutely. He's just an incredible player for sure. I think it'll be.
Seen Lou Dort take him out of a game before, so
Yeah, well, they'd have to make the finals to run into Lou Dort. There's not a lot of players like Lou Dort. I mean, that's
So
not just like common every game.
do we have the Celtics? We'll go through. Do we have the Celtics or Cavs winning? No number of games. Just okay. Go Gabe.
I got Celtics.
I have the Celtics in 7, but just out of spite of Landon, I'm taking the Cavs in 7.
Celtics in 5.
What?
Cavs in
That's
4.
literally impossible.
Cavs in 4.
What?
Sweet.
Cavs in 4. No, Cavs in 3. Celtics don't go to the last game. They forfeit.
What are we doing
Nah.
here? This is insane.
Seriously though, I have the Cavs winning and making it to the
All right.
finals. Only to
I'll
lose to the
I'll
Celtics.
coin flip it. All right. Heads is Cavs. Tails is Boston. It is tails. Boston wins. Sorry, fellas. The one time he doesn't get heads.
I just went 0-3 with coin flips.
Oh, you did just go 0-3. That's terrible.
Goodness.
Well, there's our not so consensus playoff predictions. Definitely changed and went a different way there for sure.
I'll also have to mention the bracket and the picks of the consensus was exactly what I pretty much chose.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fun.
Sure. All right. Well, with that, I mean, I think that's our playoff stuff there. I think we're good with that. I mean, is there anything else we were wanting to add in here? Everyone's good.
Celtics Thunder. Let's run it. Celtics Thunder.
That is what I want to see as well. All right. Well, with that, I think we're. Oh yeah, Jack. Sorry.
Celtics, Cavs, Knicks, Bucks, Pistons, Pacers, Thunder in 4. I don't care. Thunder up. Let's go.
There it is. Jack gets the close out.
Yeah.